mother by helping others. To make myself happy, I had to make others happy. That's what Rotary is. Helping others and making yourself happy. Interestingly, I learned that when I was 10 years old. Sometimes small incidences in your life can have a big impact. I was in medical school. I saw my professors getting dressed and going to Rotary meetings Monday evening. So I asked people, I did not know what Rotary was. I asked people, what is Rotary? And they told me, Rotary is the organization that feeds the hungry. They do cataract camps, they do vaccination camps. What impressed me was that these elite professors of mine were doing elite projects, helping poor, helping sick. And that impressed me the most. And that's when I decided that one day I would like to be like them. So I came to New York. I was in New York for 10 years, but I never met a Rotarian. I never heard of Rotary. Then subsequently, after I finished my urology training, I moved to Athens, Ohio. And I started practicing urology. I, being a urologist, most of my patients were elderly patients. They were in 60s and 70s. They were stationed in northern part of India in World War II. So they wanted to tell stories of World War II. And they would say, Dr. Gawande, India is beautiful. People are beautiful. Then they would pause, and then they would say, but. I knew what that but was. I did not want to hear. I knew what they were going to say. And then they would say, Dr. Gawande, why can't somebody do something about the poverty? Why can't somebody do something about the poverty? That penetrated my heart. And I said, maybe I can do something. That's when I decided to join Rotary. So I joined Rotary. I was inducted in Rotary by the district governor, Carl Roberts. He became good friends of ours. And on his name now, we started a small school back home in India. I enjoyed Rotary very much. The fellowship, the friendship. I worked on the group study exchange, youth exchange. I became Paul Harris Fellow, benefactor, and major donor. My wife joined Rotary because she wanted to work on polio. She became a Paul Harris Fellow and a major donor. But what transformed us from membership to a Rotarian is the project that we did in India. I always had a secret desire in me that I wanted to connect my birthplace, India, to the adopted land, America. And that opportunity came to me when I was selected to be chair for the international service. I got so excited. I said, maybe now I get a chance to do something. So I called Rotary. That's 1991. Our district had not done a matching grant. Our district did not know how to do a matching grant. We did not have a roadmap. So I called Rotary International and I talked to them. They sent me a pile of material to read. I went through the material and I still didn't understand how to do a project. So myself and my wife, decided to go to India to discover a project. That year, there was a drought. We could see the obvious signs of drought. The dry, desert-looking land, dusty streets, people carrying water on their head, the drying of plants. And it still didn't occur to us that that could be our project. So we decided to go to a school that we have been supporting for the last 25 years. When we went there, our idea to help them was to give them books. So when we announced that we want to give books, the students rose and they said, we don't need books. We need water. And I said, how can Rotary do a water project? I thought it's a government job. And then I looked at my wife and she said, maybe we can do something about it. Maybe that's our project. So we went to the Rotary Club, which was about 70 miles away from there. We talked to the Rotarians there. They were very excited to do the project, but they did not know how to do a project either. So they opened the book. They said, maybe we can do it. What we will do, we'll do a geological survey. We'll do a civic survey and find out where the water is, how deep it is, how to pump it, how to store it, and how to distribute it. And I said to them, who's going to do that? They said, we are Rotarians. It's not going to cost you a single penny. So I come back to Athens, Ohio. 3 months later, I get a booklet, 30-page booklet, explaining me exactly where the water is, how deep it is, how to pump, how to store, and how to distribute it. I got so excited. My pulse was going fast. That night, I could not sleep. I was so eager to go and see my club members and explain my project. And my club was equally enthusiastic. They supported my project. We did a fundraiser, we did an Indian dinner, and we played, and we raised $5,000. We went to our district. They gave us $5,000. The clubs in India got excited. They raised $2,000. So we had $12,000. Rotary International matched that. The total was $24,000. That was what was needed for that particular project. So within a year, the project was complete. We wanted to go and see how the project is doing. The day we went there and saw what we saw was beyond our imagination. We could not believe our own eyes. It was a miracle of water. It was a miracle of Rotary. The dry desert land was turned into a green pasture. We saw the blooming flowers, overflowing water. That touched my heart. I became very emotional. My eyes foggy, and I had tears in my eyes. And that's when I became a Rotarian. Fellow Rotarians, you become Rotarian the day something touches you. When you do a dictionary project, you hand over that dictionary to a child who never had a dictionary. That will touch your heart. A hungry man, you give a food to the man, and that touches your heart. And you will never be the same. A handicapped person, you build a handicapped playground, and you see the handicapped child running around, and you feel that you have created something great. And that's when you become Rotarian. Fellow Rotarians, we become Rotarian the day something touches you. And it is something great. When something touches you, it fills you with a joy and enthusiasm and a future. And that's what happened to me. I got so involved. I felt like a drunk. I had so much joy and fun that I felt I wanted to do more. So the next project I got involved was a deaf children's school. There were 150 children. They could not speak because they could not hear. We provided hearing aids to them. The day the teacher gave them the hearing aids, these children could not even simply utter the words, Mama and Papa. That touched my heart. And I said, how fortunate I am, how blessed I am, that I am normal. I can hear and I can speak. I also felt very fortunate that I am a Rotarian, that I could do something about these things. The third project that we did, I have been a chairman for the audible blindness for the last 7 years. We did 6,000 cataract operations in that area, providing vision for 6,000 people. Now you can imagine those 6,000 people can see their children, can see their grandchildren, and they became productive citizens. Can you imagine those 6,000 people, what they must be thinking about the Ohio Rotarians and Rotary International? How thankful and how grateful they must be feeling. The next year, again we went back to India, and that particular time, again they had a drought. And we read in the newspaper, 600 farmers had committed suicide. And that touched our heart. The district there wanted to do something, and our district wanted to do something. So we joined hands, and we did 53 water wells in different communities in that area, providing water for 70,000 people. Now we can imagine the power of Rotary. You can imagine what those 70,000 people must be thinking about the Rotary and the Ohio Rotarians. So, we have developed a lot of friendship there. We have done many projects thereafter. We did a water harvesting project, we did a computer project, we did literacy projects. Now, that whole district knows what our district is doing. So 2 years ago, when I went back home India, at that time I was selected to be the district governor nominee. They got so excited, they threw a big party for us. And in that party, they produced a check of $5,100. That touched my heart. They said, Dr. Gawande, we want you to take this money, go to America, discover a project, poor people's project, and help them. And I said, you know, your average income is only $400, $500. You are doing such a great, gracious thing. And I felt so grateful to them. So with that money, I came to Athens, Ohio. And in Athens, we looked for the project. There is a timber school. They had not passed the levy for the last 7 years. So, because they had not passed the levy for 7 years, they did not have the textbooks. We decided to provide the textbooks from first grade to the 8th grade. It was a $19,000 project. And that was only possible because of the matching grants. So the day we provided the books, you know, it was seeing those